All right. Should be live in 10 seconds. All right. Should be live in 10 seconds. Yeah, dude. Okay, I think we're live. Yeah.
I got you.
Dude, that's gonna be annoying. Sometime soon. Yeah, so I think the stream is a little bit delayed, guys. So if our reaction is like 20-30 seconds late, that's why.
Don't be surprised.
Yeah. I mean,
Have you ever streamed from Zoom?
nah, first time. I haven't even streamed from my laptop ever. Usually it's
Oh
from my
yeah,
phone,
that's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Now's not a good time for your kids to
Yeah, Osad, that's my buddy Joey.
What's up, dude?
Just live anyway.
You still go to UIC or you graduated, right?
Dude, I graduate in 2 weeks, so it's exciting. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
and then obviously I started a new sports network on Monday, so that's gonna be fun stuff, dude. Gonna be writing like more Bears content, obviously, and then I start 2022 draft stuff, dude. Actually, like Monday morning as well. Just like
You already
Getting-
start for next year?
I
Damn.
already start, dude. I was actually looking at 2022 prospects like
Right.
Tuesday or Wednesday, because it's like.
That's
I mean,
wild.
I do 2 shows a week, one specifically college football and the NFL draft. So I kind of
Okay.
have to have a read on like all of these guys, way before like the year even starts, dude. So it's definitely like interesting stuff. Next year's a decent quarterback class. It's obviously not as good as this year. It's like,
Right.
but yeah, dude, it's still a fun process every single year, dude, because you meet like so many different people while doing this type of stuff.
Yeah,
Those
you also
connections,
interviewed
like,
a couple guys, right, too?
yeah, I interviewed one this year. I think this year, so I didn't interview any last year. I interviewed D'Angelo Amos,
Mhm.
defensive back safety from West Virginia University. He talked to me. He's like, yeah, I model my game after Jamal Adams, Eddie Jackson, Minka Fitzpatrick. He also kind of talked about how, he went from James Madison University all the way to West Virginia. So like a JUCO guy before getting to the, big stage. That was definitely a fun one. But I think this year's interesting because like with COVID and everything, you had a lot of virtual meetings. You didn't necessarily have like, a lot of like prospect interviews that were able to be done. So hopefully that changes for like next year, dude.
Yeah, it should, man. I mean, COVID is pretty much, it's not over yet, but it's getting a little bit better. I feel like next football season should be mostly fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think with the, hoping there's not like another surge, right?
Yeah.
Like the Blackhawks, the Bulls, they're gonna have fans at 25% capacity. I think that with where the Bears are at, they'll have at least some fans back in the stands. It's just gonna be a matter of like, hey, can we get everyone like vaccinated fast enough over the next like 3 or 4 months to make something happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's hope so, man. Let me read the chat on YouTube. See what you guys are saying. Yeah, we got 58 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. Dude, there's like a lot of lag.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Can they even see you? Oh, are they?
Yeah, it's I think whoever
So when we
talks.
talk,
Yeah,
it shows us. When you talk, it shows him.
yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty cool. Hey, there you are. Oh, come on.
What's up, Joel? What's up, Joseph? What's up, Evan?
Dude, I'm running like 3 Twitter accounts right now. It's just a thing, bro.
Sorry, what'd you say? It's
I
loud,
said
dude.
I've got, and this is my life during the draft because I showed you my setup, right? But just like I
Right,
got my
right.
monitor, dude. I
Yeah.
got my laptop, a 10-foot extension cord down here.
Cool.
Just in terms of like phones going off, dude. It's
Right.
interesting because like I know people that are in Cleveland covering the draft, dude. But yeah,
Yeah. Do people ever like text you during the draft about like stuff that's about to happen? Like, has it happened
Yeah.
before?
It's interesting. I've gotten that a couple times. I remember a couple of years ago, I think it was the 2018 draft, right? But just like I got something that the Bears had tried to trade up into like the top 5, and then they had tried to trade back into the back half of the first round. And then last year I got word. Well, I think this was last year with the Cole Kmet pick. Like I saw it's gonna be Kmet before like it actually broke on Twitter. So or like Goodell announced it.
So cool, man. It's awesome.
He wants to be sneaky.
Be quiet.
Bad one.
All right, I'm gonna go on mute for 1 second.
All right.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
See all the Packers fans there? Dude, their quarterback might get traded soon.
Dude, it's
Did you hear
there's-
about So I heard that he might be going to the Broncos, right?
Yeah, but then so
Upright
that was a
and
couple
that.
national media. That was a couple Denver guys, and then some national media guys are coming in, kind of debunking it, saying it's not Denver, because
Oh.
everyone in the Broncos war room right now is, gearing up for the draft because they've gotten some calls about possibly trading back, but I don't think. See, it's tough with Denver because they have their 2 QBs. I just don't see a way that they trade for Aaron Rodgers without giving up the 9th pick overall.
Right. They'd probably be fine with giving up the 9th pick overall
Mhm.
for Aaron Rodgers because they have a really good team around him. Their defense is really good. They got receivers too. They have a running back. Like they literally just need a quarterback, in my opinion.
It's not there. It is blowing in a little bit, I guess.
You think the Jaguars are gonna take the entire 10 minutes to pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, the team that's picking 1 overall, dude, always does that. It's just like they know who they're gonna pick, but then it's just a matter of like what it is it's like, you're trying to soak in the moment because like you're getting those jerseys made and then the
Right.
ones that the prospects walk onto the stage with, and then there's the photos and you're calling the prospect up, trying to get through to them and saying, hey, listen, welcome to whatever city. So they
Yeah.
obviously take the full 10 minutes for that, man. But it's just like these first 3-4 picks, like everyone knows who's it's gonna be.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's good.
What channel are you watching on?
I'm on NFL Network.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we're on ESPN, but it should be. I mean, they should announce the pick obviously at the same time.
When is the actual draft going to start? Oh, do that?
Yeah.
Is that the fan share?
Oh,
she's a fan?
Yeah. Like for every picture, we'll do like a
Oh, really?
There's shit up, there's gonna be a
Oh, there's a lot of people talking.
Yeah, let me actually pull up the YouTube chat. Hold on.
Yeah, go for it. The delay definitely sucks. It's a good like 20 seconds, I think. I don't know how to fix that. Do you know how to fix that? The delay? I think that's
I
just
do
built
not,
into
man.
Zoom. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, it's not too big of a deal.
Yeah.
Modelo, yeah, Nick. What's up, Nick? My guy Joey over here has what?
Oh, Four Loco.
Four Loco.
Drinking Four Loco apple tonight.
Yes,
You
sir.
can see that in the webcam.
Yeah, my dog is actually meeting my other friend for the first time. That's why he's going crazy barking right now.
Gotcha.
I like the animations they have. It's a Monday Night Football animation.
I wonder what they'll have for Packers.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm ready for this thing to get started. Like, I might as well just have tuned in around like 7:30, because that's when the first pick's gonna be announced.
Oh, it's at 7:30?
No,
Oh,
like I
yeah.
just have a feeling like that's when these guys
Yeah.
are gonna announce the first pick.
Right. Okay, they're on the clock right now, so 8.5 minutes.
Watching it too, right?
Yeah, yeah. I hope so.
Yeah. I got it.
Yo, you know the Loyola Center Cameron Crutwig, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he retweeted one of my tweets today, dude. The one,
That's so cool. What do you retweet?
the thing about like rap sheets saying that the Bears could trade up, but not for an offensive lineman, or for not a quarterback, but an offensive lineman.
Okay, yeah. See, I don't know if I believe that. Like, I don't think we would trade up for a offensive lineman. Even though, I mean, maybe like a little bit, but going all the way to like the top 10, I don't, I don't see that. Because we don't have the capital too.
Yeah, but they'll give up 2 first rounders in the process. I feel like it's just, it's
Yeah, but
inevitable
for
at
an
this point.
offensive, you think we would give that up for an offensive lineman?
I think, yeah, dude. I mean,
Shoot. I have no idea. So they're saying Denver Broncos before, but then they were also saying like the 49ers. So yeah, they're probably gonna get rid of Drew Lock.
I hope they do.
Yeah,
I don't like that guy.
he was horrible last year.
This is the free agent,
Oh yeah.
free agency and now the draft. This is the craziest ever I've seen. Did you miss the ball?
We all know
all right,
Trevor.
there. I
Lawrence.
switched over to my AirPods.
What's up?
Let me get you a ball.
I said I switched over to my AirPods, but dude, it's just like inevitable at this point. I feel like
Oh yeah,
with where the Bears are at, right? You don't have,
Right.
you need an offensive lineman, then you also need a quarterback, and so it's just like quarterback over offensive lineman, because you could get offensive lineman on day 2 and 3, but then it's just like if the board doesn't fall the way you want it to, but you have like a Slater or a Darisaw, then I think you go after one of the
Right.
offensive linemen, you know, because
yeah.
Slater or Darisaw, they're going to be inside the top 15, and they're going to be good enough that you can
Yeah. But the thing that would suck though
they'll
is
be good
then,
enough
like,
that you can
when would we get our quarterback though in the future? Because then we wouldn't have the first round pick next year. So like we're not gonna have any chance to, draft the top quarterback.
yeah,
my only
that's
thing with
and
trading
that's
the-
what makes
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
New guy in the house.
All right, 5 minutes.
that's what
5.5
makes this whole thing so impossible, you know.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
They want more viewers for a longer time.
We drafted too early.
They don't want to do it so quickly, right? They
Oh,
want to
one
take the time, make it more interesting, make it longer, so that more people will be watching and discussing. Good job. Good job.
Can't try that yet.
I think you can smell the trees.
Oh yeah. You're probably right.
That really helped him be successful. New miracles, look beautiful. You believe it? Quite honestly, it's a perfect match. Look, this is what he did at Ohio State. To sign quarterback out here at 20 half. He said
Yeah. Yeah, can you see the chat?
Yeah. Looking on my phone actually.
Yeah, he is mobile. Yeah, he's a full package.
All right, we got thumbnails here. Let's go.
There you go.
Look at this.
Up now?
Yeah, because it was just my face.
Yeah, nice Google search.
All right.
How many viewers do you got right now?
So some of them left. There's 57 now.
Pretty good.
Yeah, for real. All right, let's see. So it hasn't adjusted. Yo, guys, type in the chat. Who do you think the Bears pick is gonna be? Like realistically, like what do you actually think it's gonna be?
And by the way, if you see me like looking up at my phone and stuff or looking on the side, disclaimer, I'm not ignoring you guys. Like I know people on the ground in Cleveland, so I'm
Yeah,
trying to,
man.
you know,
This
yeah.
guy's-
There you go.
Okay, the Kellen Mond, Justin Fields,
Oh yeah.
offensive tackle. Okay, Mac Jones, I could definitely see. Kind of hope it doesn't happen though, unless it's at pick number 20.
Dude, I'm still split on Mac Jones, man. I mean, I know he's gonna go round 1 tonight, but just like for me personally, my grades, I would not take him earlier than the 2nd round.
Second round, damn. I feel like I'd be okay with taking him number 20 because, I mean, obviously other teams are considering him like top 10. I mean, 49ers maybe number 3.
Yeah, but I think one of the big things we also have to understand is that the way that these NFL teams operate, they have players graded out differently. So
Right.
when you look at a guy like Justin Fields, right, his skill set, his ability to hit throws with precision, with timing, with the accuracy, the athlete that he is, the
yeah,
Bears, considering the offense that they run, they're going to have him ranked significantly higher than a guy like Mac Jones, for example, or a guy like Trey Lance, for example. And that's not to discredit Mac Jones or Trey Lance. It's just like overall, for what the Bears are trying to do, Fields fits the skill set better. Whereas for what the 49ers are trying to do,
yeah.
Jones fits their skill set better.
Totally get that, but I still understand though, because like the pick is in. I mean, obviously we know what's gonna be, but I was gonna say like obviously Justin Fields or Trey Lance, they could probably have the same success as Mac Jones in the 49ers scheme. Because I mean, you see obviously Jimmy Garoppolo having so much success, and he's an average quarterback in my opinion. So I wouldn't get it personally, but I hope they make that pick.
Oh my God! Look at
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, they comparing him to Peyton Manning. Too early.
Yeah, definitely. Well, who do you think they're taking?
I honestly have no idea.
Good boy. Good job.
Whatever. Serve it off, dude.
All right, here we go. It's in. We know who it's gonna be, man. I need to get to the 3rd overall pick because I think what's gonna happen is you're gonna go. And I predicted this on the Friday, April 16th. Actually, I was like, okay, Trey Lance 3. That was when everyone was thinking Mac Jones or Justin Fields, but Trey Lance 3. Kyle Pitts 4. I heard last night, actually, guys. I'm sorry for tipping picks, but I heard Jamar Chase at 5. I think you're gonna get
5? Damn.
Yeah, Chase at 5. Penei Sewell at 6. You're gonna have one of the Alabama receivers at 7, and then 8 or 9 is where it's gonna be interesting.
That's interesting.
All right, really good.
Ian Book. Trevor Lawrence.
That was a little.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Everyone
They have a little delay.
No reaction.
Yeah, I think so.
Wait.
They're actually delayed by a lot. Oh, there you
There
go.
you go. That's really anticlimactic. Yeah, okay. Should I stand up? I don't know.
Man, they have a lot of people in there.
Oh, yeah.
They have like their entire family or something. Nice.
South Carolina. So.
Yeah, true.
Smelling is sausage. Wow, that's a-
Dude, I really hope the Jets don't take up the entire time. I know they will, but
Yeah.
that's really annoying.
Probably will.
Yeah.
Joey, his favorite right by you. Right by you. Where you're sitting.
You think there's any chance the Jets select Justin Fields or?
No, I seriously think, dude, just overall, man, they like Zach Wilson way too much. I think when you look at the way that the NFL is trending in terms of quarterback skill sets, Zach Wilson kind of reminds a lot of people of like guys like Patrick Mahomes, guys like Aaron Rodgers, in the sense that they're able to continuously roll out of the pocket, hit necessarily any type of throw on the field. And I think that when you look at Zach Wilson's rise this season, ultimately, like, it just screams number 2 overall pick. Now, the only question I have for him is he played against a small level of competition compared to Justin Fields, who played a lot of Big Ten guys
Right.
over a 2-year period. So can Wilson adjust to that NFL competition? Because defenses are going to get so much faster. Your windows are going to get so much smaller. And the competition, Wilson played at BYU, not to discount it, but it's nothing compared to like the defenses, the windows, the looks that teams threw at Justin Fields at Ohio State.
Yeah, 100%. That's kind of why I feel like they should have at least considered Justin Fields at number 2. I mean, they probably did consider him, but personally, I don't know, because Justin Fields, like, obviously his ceiling is way higher. Maybe not way higher, but it's definitely higher. But if I was making the pick, I'd probably take Fields. But I'm also kind of biased because I like Fields in general. So
And I think when it comes to these draft picks, you can't necessarily be biased. It's just more so of like, all right, who do you prefer over another? And I think that in
Right.
this case, man, it's like a year ago, if you were to talk to me, I would definitely say Fields at 2. But you can't discredit like Zach Wilson's rise either.
yeah, he was really good last year. I mean, nobody viewed him as being a top 5 pick until middle of last season, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there were times last season where people actually had Mac Jones graded as quarterback 4 in this class, and there was talk of what can Justin Fields actually do? Or I'm sorry, what would Zach Wilson be able to do? But I think like you just look at what really cemented Fields as QB2 throughout this process was the fact that his pro day at BYU was phenomenal. And every single person that was at that pro day came away with, hey, the draft's starting at 3 because Wilson's going to go number 2.
Right. Yeah, because I remember Bears fans last year were kind of, hoping that he would fall to us, whatever our pick was. But then obviously we won too many games and Field just kept on getting better and better. So would have been nice for sure. But I just hope we get some quarterback. Even Mac Jones, I'd be okay with, guys. I know a lot of you guys, in the comments, and you guys have been DMing me, like, you don't want Mac Jones at all. If we get him at number 20 or somehow second round, it's not going to happen the second round, but if we somehow get him at pick number 20, I would be okay with that totally. Because it gives us hope for at least something else. And we wouldn't be sacrificing future draft assets either.
Yeah, I think for a lot of Bears fans, and I'm kind of as a Bears writer and podcaster, I'm kind of in this category too, in the sense that, hey, I like Mac Jones, but ultimately it's just like Justin Fields is, I think, considering what he's done in college, really, he's essentially like a proven commodity is what he is, with Justin Fields.
Right.
Now, I think that overall, when you look at it, it's like, Justin Fields is like the shiny new Lamborghini, but then like Mac Jones is like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like the Ferrari or something, So like, or Mac Jones is going to be a good consolation prize.
Right. Yeah. To the Patriots. I'm taking a picture of that.
What the heck?
All right, guys. So my little cousin, he bought a was this a quesadilla from Chipotle? And his name, he said, what do you say? Pick Justin Fields. Whoever was working there, he said to the Patriots. So clearly a Patriots fan is working at Chipotle. Here. Man, that's funny. What happened, Ziggy? Ziggy, come here. You want to be famous? Come on.
Yeah, you want to be famous? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's totally cool with you now.
Yeah.
Oh, sort of. I can't touch him yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time, but
Yeah.
Hey, come here.
go.
Come here. Come.
Yeah. You want to be on the live stream? Come on, you want to be on the live stream? Here you go.
Say hi. Say, I hope Justin Fields is a Bear.
I'd be surprised if you start barking at him.
Probably will. Yeah, he hasn't seen many other people besides us on the Chipotle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got pretty creepy for him right now.
Seriously.
All right, here we go, guys. So pick 2 is in. Obviously, it's Zach Wilson, but the 49ers are officially on the clock.
All right.
Or wait, no, he doesn't have
Yeah, no, he's on my channel pretty much. He's on the Zoom meeting with the green screen on my channel. Yeah. All right, the real fun starts after this.
Great.
Don't bark. Oh my god. Yes, sorry about my dog, guys.
By the way, I'm gonna be pounding down a 30-ounce cold brew all night to stay awake.
Oh, there you
so,
go. There you go.
Yeah.
Take his in. Zach Wilson. Okay, there you go. Now the real fun starts because now we have no idea who they're picking next.
What do you think the Bears are picking?
Well, if we trade up, then probably Justin Fields, Trey Lance.
Okay.
Yeah. Before that, we obviously have to trade up. So we don't know, like, we have no idea what the 49ers are doing right now. First two we already knew for like a long time. But Niners, we have no clue. Either gonna be Mac Jones or Trey Lance, most likely. Or Justin Fields. Zach Wilson's happy as hell. Dude, the kid looks like 12 years old, right? Look at his face.
So
Yeah.
yeah, fun fact about Zach Wilson: he actually took 2 girls to his senior high school prom. And
I heard about
if
that.
if you guys are wondering how I know this information, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, man. For me, draft is just not about watching film. I actually do
Yeah.
so much research on these guys. I can tell you that Zach
Yeah, like the
Wilson takes
personality
meds,
and all.
dude, for
Yeah.
ADHD. So yeah.
I see.
Kind of
Wow.
like it's creepy because I feel like I'm stalking these guys, but then at the end of the day, like I'm just trying to get as much information
that's-
as I
Dude,
can.
that's exactly what the NFL teams do too.
Mhm.
They go through their social medias and talk to their friends. I guess I don't know. It's a lot of personal info. 6.5 minutes until the 49ers pick. Really hope it's gonna be Mac Jones. I don't know. Like in my yeah, you got the COVID spacing or whatnot. The funny thing is though, all those fans are vaccinated, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I think the commissioner is vaccinated too, so he's actually allowed to hug everybody. They said.
Okay.
His last year he was doing it from his basement. The players or the fans?
I think there was, well, it wasn't there's a guy who has slept today.
And you have George Kittle guys tweeting out the eyes emoji, and that makes me think that that really makes me think that the 49ers operated in such silence throughout this
Yeah.
whole process. Even
Yeah.
the players don't know who they're taking, because sometimes just word will get out to the players in the organization, but the players keep it under wraps as well. But it sounds like not even George Kittle knows.
You think it could be for like Aaron Rodgers, or you think it's not gonna happen today?
No, I don't think that's going to happen today. I think what's going to
Right.
happen with the Aaron Rodgers scenario is we kind of wait for the 49ers to announce the pick here. I think that whole thing, they're going to try and change his opinion, but he's not going to want to change. And so they're going to drag it out until absolutely last resort, because you're going to have mini camps and OTAs in May and June, and then July is going to be a bit of a dead period till training camp comes back. I really think what will happen is we're not going to see him traded until before the season begins, because I just don't see that dead period that we see every summer, that 5 to 6 week period, being a point where we see Aaron Rodgers just magically get traded. And I think if you look at the last couple of years as well, saw this with Khalil Mack, saw this with Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, it just seems like every single year, man, before the season begins, we see one big superstar that's on the move. And I think that this year, that guy's going to be Aaron Rodgers, not so much Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Deshaun Watson is still possible. Depends on what's happening with the whole investigation. So we'll have to see how that turns out. But yeah, all right. There's 4 minutes about until the Niners pick. I just really hope it's not Justin Fields because I want him on the Bears.
Well, as of Monday, I believe there was a split in the Niners organization. So they weren't sure, do we want to go they weren't sure, do we want to go Trey Lance or Mac Jones?
Right.
And apparently Shanahan was leaning towards Mac Jones, but the scouting department was like, no, Trey Lance. But I think what's interesting with the 49ers just overall is that they kind of had a say in the workouts and the drills that like all three of these quarterbacks did. Most notably, Trey Lance and Justin Fields' second pro days.
Yeah, right.
Hey, EWC, what do we do if the 49ers got Jones?
Jones, dude, I'm gonna be happy as hell. I'll just, I don't know, run around, scream.
Run around. Okay.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the Bears? What are they gonna do?
No. What do we do?
Oh, what do
if
we
the
do?
49ers got Jones?
I think he's still talking about the Bears. So yeah, if the 49ers draft Jones, I mean, I don't think you're gonna get up to Atlanta or Cincy's spot. Maybe the Dolphins, but that would still take a lot. So I mean, if Lance and Fields fall a little bit, I would say try to trade with the Lions, maybe the Panthers. That could be an option for us. Get 1 to 2. What do you think we should do if Jones is a
I
pick?
think realistically speaking, right, you're gonna have Atlanta take Kyle Pitts at 4 because when I covered the
Yeah.
Florida Pro Day, and I spoke to Kyle Pitts. He kind of made it clear that hey, I'm gonna be talking to the Falcons. Cincinnati, they're gonna go Jamar Chase, I believe. I mean, when I talked to Jamar Chase at the LSU Pro Day too, he wasn't totally committed to the idea of playing with Joe Burrow, but he didn't totally brush the idea off either. Miami, they have multiple first round picks. So they have a lot of flexibility, but it's kind of hard to sit there and be like, hey, I have Tua Tagovailoa, but I need a franchise caliber left tackle. And Penei Sewell was actually starting as a true freshman at Oregon when he was 17 or 18 years old. And then Detroit, they just restructured Jared Goff's contract. So with that, the GM Brad Holmes was in the war room when they drafted him in Los Angeles, and he's under contract through 2024. So I think Detroit goes with a Jalen Waddle or a Devontae Smith, and then Carolina and Denver is where it's going to get really interesting. I think that one of those two teams is going to trade out, and I would say more likely Denver.
Let's see. Okay.
Greetings from a Bears fan in Germany.
Oh, what's up, man?
He signed Bear Down.
Bear down.
Flag.
That's so cool. What's his name?
Michael Hoffman.
Michael Hoffman. Yo, shout out to you. It's probably the middle of the night for you, right?
Yeah, it's 7 hours ahead. So
Dang.
I think it's Jones, but I'm not sure. I think
All right,
it's
pick it in, dude. Pick it in. All right. Please be Mac Jones.
it's Trey Lance.
Oh, you're ahead of us?
wait, really?
No, I'm sorry for tipping picks, guys. I have, like I said, I have people on the ground in Cleveland covering the draft. So
Dang. Like confirmed it's Trey Lance?
yeah, it's Trey Lance, man. Twitter's blowing up right now. So
Oh, damn.
Oh,
It's
so
Trey
Jones
Lance.
Florida.
Yeah, I guess so. Just, dude, hope Justin Fields doesn't get picked up anytime soon. He probably will be, though. Shit.
Oh,
Oh, no.
yeah.
We got sources.
Oh, thanks, Commissioner.
In the 2021 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Yep.
I told you.
Shit. North Dakota State.
What a school.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, they got Carson Wentz a few years ago.
Yeah.
I think that's their only NFL quarterback. Man. Oh, there you go. Because they're probably sensing the Bears might trade up.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I really hope the Falcons don't select Fields. I'm kind of worried about that. Because I know Matt.
Lance.
Yeah. What's up? Yeah, dude.
Trey Lance, yeah.
And wonder where Mac Jones is gonna go though.
Yeah, I just quote tweeted this on Twitter that I predicted Trey Lance at third overall about 2 weeks ago. So it's just
Dude,
like
that's awesome. You're right about that. Nice.
hopefully I can continue to hit on these picks, man.
Yeah.
Because
Where do you have what do you have the Bears doing? Like what?
so
you ever
I
make
did
a
a mock. Yeah, I did a mock draft on Monday on the Monsters Lounge podcast. You can follow them on Twitter at Monsters Lounge. You know, great people. I have the Bears trading up to 8th, or I think it's actually 9th overall. So a trade out with Denver, and they take Justin Fields.
Nice. Let's go.
Hey, Chad, say something interesting.
They're not saying much.
Dang. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, 87 now. Yeah, to all the new people, we have a slight delay, so our reactions might be, 20 or 30 seconds delayed.
Or about a minute.
Or about a minute, you
Yeah.
know.
Okay. The Joey's still looking good as usual. Thank you, Mr. Trump Sizzle. Much appreciated.
Do you imagine if the Bears logo just pops up right now? There's no way.
Honestly, I don't think the Bears. Yeah, 7, 8 is where, or 8 or 9 is where I see the Bears logo popping up. Realistically speaking.
I'm just scared as hell somebody else is gonna trade up or like somebody else takes the Fields. Because then Mac Jones is literally our only option.
Thoughts on Ian Book?
Yeah, maybe an undrafted free agency.
Kyle Shanahan. It's a perfect marriage with the run game, how they want to do, get him outside on the edge. And we always say, whichever quarterback with the San Francisco Mariners, regardless of who it is.
Breaking, the Bears traded all their draft picks for the next 10 years for Patrick Mahomes.
Oh shit. I'd be down for that, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Not even kidding.
Here's Teddy Fields. Falcons not trading back is a crime.
Yeah, man. I mean, now the draft is actually coming off because the first 2 picks we already knew
Now
pretty
we're
much.
looking at chat.
Yeah.
I received Falcons are going to select Kyle Pitts.
Dude, I hope
Let's
so.
go. Who's he?
Kyle Pitts, he's
Yeah.
one of the best tight ends of all time in college.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like one of the biggest superstars of the draft.
Yeah.
How many of these people do you know, you think? You probably know some of the quarterbacks.
What guy was he going into the draft?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Devonta Smith.
Yeah. He's from Alabama. That's all I know.
Nah, I don't blame you, man. I don't watch too much college football either. But like near draft time is when I start paying attention.
Oh, there's a guy on the phone, on a landline.
Yeah, man.
Probably not. Probably voice over IP.
Yeah.
They don't do
So
landline.
I guess they're keeping Jimmy Garoppolo then, because I don't think Lance would be ready to start immediately.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when you certainly look at the 49ers investment into the 3rd overall pick. I mean, forget the mid-round picks that they gave up, but they gave up a 2022 and a 2023 first-round pick,
Yeah.
which those automatically signal that, hey, we're not ready for Trey Lance to come in and start right away. Right now, we view Jimmy Garoppolo as just being an ideal bridge quarterback. And I think that you look at Trey Lance, he didn't play in 2020, had the one obviously showcase game, but he didn't play a full season. And teams put a lot of stock into that final season anyway. Ultimately, that means that they're going to bring him in. Upside is off the charts, but to help him realize that upside, they are going to really have to take their time. And I think that there's no better situation for Trey Lance than Kyle Shanahan, because we are talking about a guy that's made it work with Brian Hoyer, CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins, even Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh yeah. Hey, he's gonna have a lot of success there either way. I feel like any quarterback that went there, they would have been, having a good career. At least the first few years of their career.
Hey, like your stream. Cool vibes.
There you go.
Take
All right.
this in.
Oh god, I hope this isn't Justin Fields. I was feeling it might be Justin Fields.
Are we wanting to get him? Okay.
He's like the last top quarterback available. I mean, we also have Mac Jones, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alabama, I don't know.
Yeah. And a lot of Bears fans really don't like him.
I told you 3 and 4 were going to decide a lot of things. Let's explain why 4.
Yes, thank you, Chad. Thank you, and indeed.
One of them would be to trade out. If there's no deal, they've done that.
The commissioner still doing these.
The other options would be then to take
The pick. Wait, what?
The commissioner still.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you want to keep the pick, what would you do? Well, considering the needs that they have, considering
Or does he announce all the first round?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, first round is commissioner, and second round is, I believe it's just random people.
Whoever.
Yeah, they just, I think they invite some
Yeah,
people to.
some of those fans.
Yeah.
Those vaccinated fans.
Oh yeah.
One guy saying F.
Shoot. All right, nobody spoil the pick now. I want to see it on my TV first.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be in that Bears QB.
Oh man.
Well, they already spoiled it, his dad, so.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, don't tell me.
Okay.
We're about to find out the Falcon fan is getting out of the chair.
3 people are saying the same guy.
To read the pick. Here we go.
Hello, Roger Goodell.
With the 4th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. Okay. Good pick. Good pick for them. All right.
Who's our like top 3 choices
For the Bears or for?
Bears?
I mean, presumably quarterback because we don't have a good quarterback right now. So I would say Justin Fields, number 1. Mac Jones, I guess, number 2. There's no number 3 really in the first round. All the good quarterbacks already gone. So, I mean, I really don't think Cincinnati is going to trade their pick. Miami, hopefully, shouldn't either. I'm gonna start to get nervous around Detroit because there's only one really good quarterback now available. Like, besides Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's interesting because, like, we talked about the draft starts at 3, but now you look at it and, all right, so Kyle Pitts is off the board. And then between Cincinnati and Miami, 5 and 6, you could see one of the Alabama wide receivers or Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell going there. And then 7th overall, do they go wide receiver because they lost Kenny Golladay this offseason? I mean, 8's very interesting as well with Carolina because theoretically they could trade back, but then there's reports of, well, they could trade up. But then there was also reports of they're totally committed to Sam Darnold for the next 2 years. And then, all right, Denver, well, with Denver, I don't think they're going to be in on – it's hard for me to say, does Denver really want Justin Fields? But then at the end of the day, you realize they never wanted – it's hard – Denver's confusing because they didn't necessarily want a rookie quarterback, but they wanted a veteran. And names that were floated around that I heard included like Nick Foles, Gardner Minshew even, but they land Teddy Bridgewater. And then Dallas, I think they take a defensive player because their defense was like 29th or 30th last year. Giants are going to go a playmaker on offense because they need help for Daniel Jones. And then Philly's just like a total toss-up, man. But yeah, it's getting really interesting now. And yeah, as crazy as it sounds, dude, the Bears pick's going to be here before you know it.
Man, I hope so. I'm fucking scared now. Holy shit.
And what's interesting is Kyle Pitts now is going to join an offense that includes Julio Jones, that includes Calvin Ridley, that already has Hayden Hurst. And it's really one of those prolific, I think, under Arthur Smith, what you're going to see is a real pass-first offense. Because when Arthur Smith was the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, one of the big things was that Jonnu Smith really took off. And now you add a dynamic playmaker like Pitts to what they already have. It's going to be a fun offense to watch, man.
For sure. Their defense is still going to suck. Their offense is still going to be good. Love you. Do you think we're going to trade or no? Do you think we're going to trade up? I'm gonna be so mad if I see like the Patriots trade up or something, because you already know it's gonna be for Justin Fields. They better not.
From head coach Dan Mullen to our Mount Piper Junior, they call you a unicorn. So for right now, what do you hope to accomplish in the NFL?
So I would say refer to these people in the draft unicorns.
I guess so.
Who's next?
Should be. They're saying Jamar Chase. He's saying Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Even a lot of other people think Jamar Chase too. He's a receiver.
Well, I think ultimately, man, it naturally makes sense just in terms of a big reason because Joe Burrow prior to the 2019 season was being pegged as like a day 3 guy. And then he has that big ascension. He has one of the best college seasons that we've ever seen. And one big reason for that specifically, man, was Jamar Chase. Now, Chase opted out in 2020 specifically because of COVID. But if he was there, man, I think he would be, if Chase played in 2020, didn't opt out, he would be the no-brainer selection at 5th overall. But with that said, even though he hasn't played in a year, he continued to stay in shape, continue to work out. It's a no-brainer pick here for me. Even though the Bengals, they do have guys like Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins, but you can't really lose with this pick if you go Chase or Sewell.
Yeah, that's true. Shit, I'm nervous.
Yeah, right. It's always tough having to say goodbye. Whoa, hold up. Oh, honey butter chicken biscuit is $1.99 all month.
Oh, dude, the chicken biscuit's only $1.99.
Oh, damn. There you go. Do you ever have breakfast from Chick-fil-A?
I had it once.
Oh, really?
I had the chicken biscuit.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
Nice, because I had a couple days ago and it was, yeah, it was fucking amazing.
What do you have?
So we had I forgot what it was called. It's like a small, it's like a small bun with like a chicken patty inside.
Oh.
You know what that is? Don't know what it's called.
Like Chicken Little or
Yeah,
something?
Chicken Little or something, yeah. And then we also got the, chicken burrito.
Okay. Hey, you got a $2 donation.
Oh, there you go. Who is that?
This isn't me, is the name. Just showing some love.
Yo, thank you, man. Whoever donated, appreciate you.
Yo, it's in. Let's go.
It's in. Pick is in. Oh man, God, please give us a good quarterback.
Crisp veggies on freshly baked bread. So let's get out there and get those footballs. Get what they do so be fresh.
So the Patriots definitely aren't going to trade up here with the Dolphins because they're in the same division, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I think that that's one thing to keep in mind is that you just don't see the Patriots wanting to. I mean, like, listen, if you're Miami, man, you've been tormented by the Patriots for so many years.
Yeah.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, I think kind of.
At Justin Fields.
Right.
So does that mean we have to get up to number 6 then? Like, it would cost a hell of a lot, but I mean, if I'm Ryan Pace, I'm trying to get number 6.
Yeah, I think ultimately what it's going to depend on is, do the Dolphins really want to trade out and move down to 20th overall? Because I think that to make the jump, let's say from like 10 to 6 is fine because you're only moving down 4 spots. But then at the end of the day, if you're a team that is picking at 20th overall, and you're a team that's picking at whatever 6th overall, like, are you going to move back 14 spots knowing that if you move back that far, one of the highest graded players on your board may not necessarily even be there?
Right.
All right. Hey, bro. Let's make a petition to rename Sox Stadium to Modelo Park. I like that.
Totally agree with that, man.
Oh, yeah. But, speaking of which, the Brewers renamed their field to American Family Field.
Did they really?
It's not Miller Park anymore.
Oh my God. I didn't hear about that. Wow.
It's terrible.
That's so stupid. Dude, I had my first beer ever at a White Sox game. I went to one with Avi actually. It was, I think 2 weeks ago during the weekday. At a White Sox
Oh,
game.
okay. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, I've had a few of them.
Yeah, I've had a few. Oh man, I went to drinks with some coworkers last night.
Mhm. Oh my
For like
God,
60 bucks.
that's awesome.
I should not have any home.
Oh,
That was like the first day.
oh God. Jamar Chase? Okay, you're right. Dude, your sources are spot on. You got every single pick right so far.
I like his white suit.
Yeah, dude, he looks cool.
He's rocking that.
So Joe Burrow still has a bad offensive line, but he's a really good damn receiver now. All right, are we gonna trade up to pick number 6? It's a lot to go down for the Dolphins, like he said, Assad said, but
I'd walk away from my deal.
oh man.
And I think right now, when you kind of continue to shift these needs, what's going to happen is now the Bengals, because they have that second round pick, I think they do go offensive lineman in the second round because you are going to have Liam Eichenberg, hopefully Liam Eichenberg, Dylan Reduns, Jackson Carmen,
Yeah.
Walker Little from Stanford there. So a number of guys.
Oh,
But
yeah.
like I said, I think overall with this pick, couldn't really go wrong whether you went Sewell or Chase. But here they go with the pass catcher.
Oh yeah. Oh nice. It's funny. I think last year I had over 1,000 people watch it. That's because I was also making a lot of videos in the off season. There's also COVID,
Yeah,
yeah.
there was nothing to watch.
Right.
except the NFL draft.
Yeah, you're right.
That was probably the most draft in history.
It had to be. Pretty much any
Now
sport.
people are working again.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess there haven't been any trade ups yet.
Not yet. I mean, nobody's really expecting a trade up. Like, oh, pick is in, okay. Dude, oh fuck, the Lions are after. The Lions aren't gonna trade with us. Oh my god. Wait, the Dolphins won't select a quarterback, right?
No, but I think
Most
what's
likely not.
interesting right now is if you're watching on NFL Network, usually when a trade is announced and you see the ticker on the bottom of the screen, you can
Yeah.
actually they will actually move the teams up there before Goodell officially announces the trade. So keep an eye out, I think, over the next couple picks in case something does happen.
Okay, sure. I'm actually not watching on. I'm watching on ESPN, so let me know if the ticker moves.
Hey, what are you drinking? I'm drinking
a
caps.
I got a Modelo, man.
Modelo.
Modelo.
I've got a Four Loco.
He's got a Four Loco. Fucking scared. Yeah. Is that your second?
Yeah, but it's like 4 times more.
Oh shit, yeah.
14%.
You're right. Yeah, I'm
So like a third of
right. Do you have to go to the office tomorrow? Nice.
yeah, from Monday, Tuesday, Friday.
Dope.
Yeah, we're having me do some or they're gonna start having me do some underwriting, like assistant test.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah, right now I'm just doing like admin.
Right. How long would it take to get the actual underwriting job? Like, a few years, probably.
Yeah, a few years. I don't know if there's any certifications actually, but
Mhm.
like, there's a lot to learn.
Right.
So,
That's true.
but they really like.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really good. As long as you sell yourself.
Well, I don't even. My boss, when we got drinks yesterday, he was hammered. He asked about buying any stocks.
Oh my gosh.
I told him about like all my Vanguard stuff. She actually goes for individual stocks.
That's risky.
Yeah, it really is. But, right after that night, so I have one individual stock. So, yeah. So it's like $4 I bought it. Overnight, they had their release focus there. And they're going up like 16%.
God, wow.
That's like 4.7 or something.
That's awesome.
So if I sold today,
That's really cool. Wow. You have any crypto at all?
I had some Dogecoin. I sold it when I got to like a 350% profit.
There you go.
Like I bought it was about Doge for $7, and then I sold. Got $350.
That's cool. That's a lot. That's a good amount of profit
We'll see how
there.
much tax I pay.
Right.
Not excited for that.
Yeah. All right, pick is in. Announce the pick.
It's Waddle, dude. It's Waddle.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I
That-
guess they could use Penei Sewell too, but I guess yeah, they need a receiver maybe a little more
Mhm.
bad.
I mean, I think it's still overall just in the context of the Bears, it still works out.
Yeah.
2021 NFL draft. The Miami Dolphins select Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle. There you go, dude. You're 6 for 6 on your picks, man.
Yeah, but it ultimately like it still works out for the Bears because when you look at it, right, like
He has
Now-
his drafting Justin Fields.
yeah, if Detroit goes Sewell and they need to protect Jared Goff, right? Or I think one of
Yeah.
these next two teams is gonna take Sewell, man. But it's just suspense is like killing me right now, man.
Dude,
Looks like green. Is that like all the fires?
oh yeah, it might be. Yeah, they're probably all in the same area, kind of.
They're like a cute.
Yeah.
I guess looking like my office there.
Waddle.
And
Yeah, the Heisman Trophy winners going last out of the big three receivers.
So Devontae Smith is in the draft, right?
Yeah.
What do you think he's going to do?
I'm thinking probably 10, 11, 12. Because, I mean, it all depends on like your value, right? So teams value quarterbacks a lot more. So it's like quarterbacks first,
Yeah.
offensive linemen too. So
Everybody at quarterback. Like,
I
it's a good money decision.
yeah. It's hard as hell to play the position though.
Oh yeah.
Hardest position in all of sports. Oh, dude, the pick is in. That was fast. It better be.
I can see by the guy who said pick is in all caps.
Oh god, dude, I'm hoping it's a non-quarterback. Obviously, if they take Mac Jones, I'd be okay with that. They're not gonna
well,
take.
it's actually no trade for the Lions, so I think, dude, I have a feeling Sewell's just a really intriguing pick here because it's hard to pass up on a guy that
Yeah.
a lot of players were labeling as a generational prospect. And I think, forget the Devontae Smiths and the Jalen Waddles and the Kyle Pitts. I mean, Penei Sewell should be like a top. He's ultimately a top 3 player in this draft. I know there's a lot of. This is a really stacked top 10, but
Yeah.
Sewell has to be a top pick. You know.
Has to be, yeah. I'm just really scared to select Justin Fields somehow because Jared Goff obviously is not the quarterback of the future. They have
But they also have him, if you look at the financial side of things, they also have him under contract for a couple more years, and they can't really afford to move on from him.
That's true. Shit. Just looking at everybody's faces, they're so worried. Oh my god. Guys, what do you think the pick is gonna be? Let us know in the chat down below. They're about to announce it. Yeah.
Guaranteed to get it right.
Yep. Eh.
Oh, you're not drunk yet.
No,
Well,
I'm-
they're getting some protection for Jared Goff, as awkward as that sounds.
Yeah. I mean, Jared Goff with a good offensive line, he wasn't that bad. He's, average quarterback probably.
Yeah, I think what's interesting with that, right, is more so like because he obviously had the MVP caliber season in 2018. I think for me, man, that was more so Todd Gurley than it
Yeah.
was Todd Gurley and Sean McVay than it was Jared Goff. And then you see Todd Gurley goes down with the knee injury. Jared Goff just didn't look the same. But then the other half of the Rams offense kind of being broken in 2019 and
Right.
essentially just limping to the finish line was the fact that for the Bears, Vic Fangio broke the Sean McVay offense. And then, 2020 was a good year, man, but the Rams were still more so of a defensive minded team.
Right. Totally agree with that. That's why they got Matt Stafford. I mean, they wanted to upgrade from Jared Goff. So it made sense for them.
Alright, so they say it is.
It's not Justin Fields, right?
I think all the hard work that came into making
Holy
this
shit.
moment special.
Yo, you're good. It's not Justin Fields.
Oh my god. Okay, pick number 8. It's not Justin Fields. I don't know. On Twitter, they announced it earlier.
I think that's a key reason why
It's not Justin Fields. The Lions are not picking Justin Fields. Wow, how scared they would. Dude, Panthers better not pick Justin Fields. They better trade it to the Bears. Yeah, that would be nice.
Is that Mac Jones on the phone?
What? Wait, where do you see Mac Jones on the phone?
NFL Network.
That better be the Patriots calling them. I swear to God, that better be the Patriots. Okay, okay, actually don't tell me the pick. As long as it's not. As long as it's not Justin Fields. Oh, I already saw who the pick is now. Okay. Penei Sewell. Where is this? Why are they taking so long to announce the pick though? It's like the pick has been in for like a long ass time. They're probably trying to get in their commercials and everything.
Yeah, it's also more so I think like, you just got to give these guys time to celebrate and stuff. So like
Yeah.
right now, yeah. I mean, plus like I think we also have to keep in mind that you have 32 franchises sitting in 32 war rooms across the country. And so these guys legitimately have to like call into the actual draft and then they have to draft the card up and then make the jersey and stuff.
Right.
Because apparently those, from what I've heard, right, they make the jerseys like back there on a hot press.
Oh my god, it's cool. Dude, the dude doesn't even seem excited. Oh, that's delayed. Well, I mean, he's going to the Lions. I wouldn't expect him to be that excited. Oh no, he's happy.
Oh, they got pizza.
Yeah. Sponsored by Pizza Hut.
Oh, I feel bad for them.
Oh yeah. Well, Khalil Mack is gonna have a hard time going up against Penei Sewell. It's a good match for him.
I mean, but Khalil Mack lines up. Well, we have Robert Quinn now, but Khalil Mack can also line up on the right side, and Sean Desai, I think, is going to scheme him all over the place.
Right. Dude, I'm fucking scared. I really hope they don't select Fields. Trade to the Bears. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, I'll take it. I'm not gonna look at my phone anymore. What do you think happens here? You think they traded to somebody? Trade probably would have happened right now though. So I think they might
Well,
be
yeah,
taking picks.
it's interesting because in the past when they have gone on to commercial breaks, usually when they get back, it's like, oh, a trade is in place, and they've had the Panay Sewell graphic kind of stuck up there for a couple, you know, for what seems like a minute or so now, which means I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe a trade's on the way, but I definitely draft order has not changed yet, so
Learn as a Bears fan, never get your hopes up.
You're right about that.
A lot of ties to the,
Oh god. Well, they're going to commercial break.
another one.
I guess so. Yeah, that's why they're taking so long in between each pick.
So with them taking this long for a pick, do you think this could be a trade?
Could be. You never know. Yeah, they're taking the full time, so it's definitely possible.
Okay.
Oh god.
Will Aaron Rodgers be a Packer in 2021? Pretty sure that's a Saturday.
It still could be though. You never know. I really hope he gets traded though.
Okay, at AT&T, everyone gets our best deals on all smartphones. Let me break it down. You got your new customers, they get our best deals. You got your existing customers, they also get our best deals. Everyone gets the deals. Questions? Got it. But why did you use a permanent marker? Because I want to make sure.
Time's running out.
I'm gonna get a new whiteboard.
It's not complicated.
Yeah, what happens if time runs out?
I actually have no idea. I've never seen that happen.
I've never seen it happen before.
They should just skip the pick.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. The pick is in.
Oh shit, they're picking.
Damn.
That's why we picked just for men, shampoo and hair color.
It better not be Justin Fields.
It's time to hit refresh.
They should be coming at the same Donald. Do you think Slater? They could take Slater potentially.
yeah, Slater would definitely be a pick here because they used all their picks on defense last year. And so this offseason, it's like you get Roby Anderson, you trade for Sam Darnold, but you have to beef that offensive line up. But they also did franchise offensive tackle Taylor Moton. So if you take a Rashawn Slater, then are you going to move him inside to guard? Because he is a left tackle. But there's been questions about should Slater play guard because he's only like 6'4", 315, I believe.
Right.
Okay, the same people are getting sacked.
I really appreciate that Patrick Price on my Instagram, Jay from State Farm.
Everybody's so pleased now.
State Farm on this casual starts on the way rates.
But we don't know that.
Yeah.
When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Welcome to Wildest Cravings Come True, where the abundance of chalupa cravings
I don't know, man.
is only
I have no idea.
savor this moment of pure Taco Bell bliss because it won't last forever. It's valid. It happens every 4, scratch that, 5 years.
Yeah, everybody in chat said please no.
Yeah. All right, don't read me anything else in chat. At least not yet. I don't want to have my hopes ruined.
Yeah, nobody knows that.
Okay.
All right, defensive player off the board here, guys.
Yeah, so you might try. Keep on saying.
They're too damn slow with passes, but
Oh, seriously, dude. Seriously.
I don't see what the pick is. Alright.
With the eighth pick, 2021 NFL Draft, Carolina Panthers select J.C. Horn.
JC Horn?
Yeah.
Alright, one more.
Wait, you called? How did you know that was a defensive player before it happened? Did you see it?
Huh?
Didn't you say a defensive player is going to be off the board? Was that just a guess or?
No, because I have a source with almost every team, dude. But people in Denver people in Carolina were kind of saying it could be a defensive player as well. I think that overall, when you look at this, right, there was a debate between is it J.C. Horn or is Patrick Surtain the second cornerback one? You ultimately look at it, dude. Both of them are as good as it gets for cornerback prospects. One of the things I talked about with this week's picks for pace episode was the fact that with Patrick Surtain, there's a conception around him that, okay, well, because he went to Alabama, he's really good. He's cornerback one, and not to discredit him, but he needs to clean his technique up so much. Whereas I feel like Horn just plays with such clean technique. So really, you're not going to go wrong here with getting JC Horn, and they continue to just build the defensive side of the ball. I mean, this is their 8th draft pick between 2020 and 2021, and it's all been on defense.
Right.
So we get it trade up.
Dude, I hope so.
Get it trade up, guys.
Trade up pace.
Number 9 already. Oh, we'll leave that in just a minute.
James C. Lawrence family is excited. As he's on his way to Carolina.
Yeah, there you go.
I got a bad feeling they're taking Justin Fields. Shit. Trust in Drew Lock, man. Give Drew Lock one more year. Dude, Drew Lock had the same stats as Josh Allen his first 2 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's good though. Josh Allen was really good last year. So they gotta trust, dude. Because if the Broncos don't select Justin Fields, the Cowboys and the Giants already have quarterbacks. So they're not gonna. Giants might trade back because they already have a ton of talent on their team.
Yeah, you guys have Drew Lock. Good.
Yeah, dude.
No insurance talk on beach day.
I'm done. Yes, please.
I'll talk insurance all day.
Oh, dude.
We actually got a
Insurance bills will be
fine lawyer for the
I wish I could group my insurance stuff.
finance people's auto plan purchases.
Oh, damn. That's awesome.
I got that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people finding this we're insurance.
Oh my god. That's a lot of money, probably.
That finance.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Nice. So, Saad, you predicted the trade up here, right, for the Bears?
Yeah, but I think it's also interesting, right? Because you have Mac Jones as well as Justin Fields on the board. But then on the other side of it, that for Denver, man, they have you have Patrick Surtain sitting there, who's cornerback one, depending on who you talk to. You have, despite the off-field concerns, Micah Parsons. So really, with Denver, it's interesting. I mean, honestly, I have no idea what's going to happen here, even though I did predict a Bears trade up.
Okay.
The only thing that scares me right now is the Patriots at 15th overall.
Yeah, because that's going to be a short trade back for the Giants or Dallas if they want to trade back.
But I don't think the Giants or Dallas are going to trade back. And Dallas specifically, the Giants specifically,
Yeah.
the big thing to keep in mind with them is they've GM Dave Gettleman, whether he was in Carolina or he was with the Giants, he's never traded back with one of his first round picks.
Okay. Wait, who's
Yeah.
number 13?
Philly would be, or so the Chargers would be 13.
Okay. 170? Holy shit. What's up, guys? Oh, man. Guys, if you can't tell, I'm nervous as hell. Heart's beating out of my chest. I really hope we trade up.
Seems like you always find a way. That's what's
Like, please, just once let us have a good quarterback.
That'd be nice.
I've been alive for 22 years. Not a single good quarterback. A lot of you guys watching are probably alive for way longer too.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you know when our last good quarterback was?
85.
1930s.
Even better.
Well, star quarterback, that is.
Yeah, I don't think any of them were alive in the 30s. So,
Probably not. God, take Devonta Smith, dude. Take Rashawn Slater. I don't care.
See, I have a sneaky suspicion the Broncos don't go offensive line. And this is just my own guess right here. I think the Broncos don't go offensive line simply because you look at it and they beefed up their O-line last year, right? And then they took an Alabama wide receiver in Jerry Jeudy. They have Cortland Sutton. They have Deshaun Hamilton. They drafted KJ Hamler last year. And then they have Noah Fant. So
Hey,
as much as I hate to say, it wouldn't be surprising to see them take a quarterback so they could put it all together. Because right now, John Elway, they have everything right but the quarterback. But ultimately, I think it's general manager George Patton that's making the pick.
right.
When you're only 15 years of president. I've been alive for 1,000 years. There's never had a good QB. I'm alive for 1,000 years. How about that? Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
They're gonna run out of
Guys,
time.
I'll be okay with Mac Jones later on.
13 years of saddle. He's not great.
Okay, nobody spoil anything. Take Mac Jones.
It is in. They don't need that.
Yeah, those guys, you know.
How long do you think he's gonna take you as an actor?
I have no idea, dude.
Ooh.
Long time.
Yeah.
Getting old, he needs to walk over fast.
Oh, yeah.
All right, y'all can chill. You guys can chill. It is Certain, man.
What? Are you serious?
It's Certain. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
With the ninth pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Matt Surtain.
Trade the fuck up. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Ziggy. I woke him up. Dude! It wasn't him, it was me.
Yeah, I know. Oh, you're fine. Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Dude. So you think Dallas is not going to trade their pick? We have to trade up at some point because the Pats are going to take him then. No, because dude,
Yeah,
no, Dallas doesn't need a quarterback. Giants don't need a quarterback. Philadelphia already has Jalen Hurts. They're probably not going to select the quarterback. I know the Patriots are. We have to trade in front of the Pats.
Well, I think you look at, and you mentioned Dallas. I think you have to keep them in mind as a team that loves to invest in offensive linemen. We were talking about a team that had Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, Lyle Collins,
Yeah.
Tyron Smith for so long, and then those guys
Yeah.
are now gradually getting older. So Jerry Jones loves his offensive linemen, and I think after what happened to Dak Prescott last year, you
Yeah.
still have Christian Darrisaw and Rashawn Slater that are on the board. I think that when you look at these next three NFC East teams, so Dallas, they could go offensive line, right? They're not going to take quarterback because they just upped Dak Prescott to that 4-year, $164 million deal. The
Yeah,
Giants, I can tell you right now, talking to my friends who do cover the Giants, Joe Judge comes from the Nick Saban coaching tree. They love their Alabama playmakers, and
Yeah.
Devontae Smith should be on the board with that selection. And then Philadelphia, they shuffled their offensive line so much last season that you could see them take an offensive tackle. And then the Chargers, they beefed up their offensive line this offseason with guys like Corey Lindsey. I believe they have Brian Bulaga there as well. So the Chargers could theoretically go with Darrisaw.
Okay.
Good job, guys. You picked the wrong guy.
Dude, it's tough though because you think the Pats would 100% take Justin Fields because they only have Cam Newton right now and they're pick number 15.
See, what's interesting is this, and I said this on a podcast earlier in the week. I was like, hey, the Panthers have never run the Patriots have never run the type of offense that they did last year. What if they knew Justin Fields was coming? What if they just used Cam Newton as kind of a guinea pig and a test subject to see, hey, what do we need to do to make this offensive effective for Justin Fields?
Right. Do you think there's any chance the Pats, if both are on the board, they select Mac Jones over Justin Fields?
Honestly, it would not surprise me. And there you see Surtain's jersey being made if you're on NFL Network. But it just would not surprise me if that's the case because we ultimately look at, and I've interviewed quarterback gurus like Mark Schofield in the past, and they've kind of compared Mac Jones to Tom Brady in the sense that a guy who's going to thrive behind a really good offensive line, a guy who doesn't have the biggest arm, but a player that is really smart up here, all right, maybe athletically limited, but can still get the job done. And you look at that investment you look at all the years that Bill Belichick with Tom Brady invested in the trenches, Mac Jones could theoretically succeed there.
Definitely agree with that. Dude, Bears need to trade up. Dallas probably won't. I know you said the Giants won't trade back, but it just seems like they have such a good team around, Daniel Jones now. Why not just get more picks for the future?
How much faith do you have in this
What?
And so Adam Schefter says that Dallas is trading out of 10. Or likely to trade out of 10.
What?
Yeah.
Like it was right now?
Yeah. I think something's going on here, dude. Someone's going to make a jump. It's just a
Dude,
matter
please
of
be
who
the
it is.
Bears. Please. Sorry, Ziggy. I'm sorry. What? Why? Why are the Eagles trading up? Dude, they better not select Justin Fields. Huh? Devonta Smith? You think it's Devonta Smith?
I think, yeah, they need wide receivers.
You better not be a quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see. So what do these Eagles need, huh?
They need pretty much everything.
Alright.
We don't have a good team.
So they also need Fields.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, sorry. No, I mean they have a quarterback though. They have a
okay.
Jalen Hurts, but I don't know. He wasn't that good last year.
If you see the Eagles draft room there, it surprised everyone last year by taking a quarterback in the Hurts in the second round. Tom, we did not think they needed Carson Wentz. Now, here a year later, off every side that they're not interested in the quarterback because they want to build around Carson. Excuse me, around Jalen Hurts. Who do you believe are coming up?
So the Cowboys get an extra third rounder in the process, it's looking like.
Okay. That's a really good trade for them. Going back 2 spots. Oh, they traded the number 12.
They need more. They need someone who really has produced.
Yo, do you know how I make the screen so it's both of our cameras at the same time? Wait, let me see.
Yeah, you would have to go to view and then do gallery view.
Gallery. Okay. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay.
Alright, let's wait a few seconds and see if that updates.
Damn, we're on a really long delay.
Oh, yeah. It's like 20, 30 seconds.
Shit.
And I think right now, if you're a Giants fan watching this, this is probably the worst case scenario for you because you had NFC East teams picking at 10, 11, and 12. But
Right.
ultimately, if you're a Giants fan, like I mentioned, you love your organization loves Alabama wide receivers. Jalen Waddle's off the board. A lot of people thought he'd be there at 11, and now it's looking like Devontae Smith could be off the board as well.
Okay.
Oh, did you finish your Modelo?
I think I did. I wasn't even paying attention to that.
Nice.
Too damn nervous.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because, dude, this literally determines our next decade of football, probably, if we actually get a good quarterback. What happened?
You woke him up, that's what happened.
I'm sorry. Come here, Zeke.
I didn't think we would see it. With the Eagles and the Cowboys making the trade. I'm getting the details on the trade from our producer, Ryan Ryder. Right now, go ahead, Ryan. The details on the trade. Look at the details. Take the Cowboys.
That's a really good trade for the Cowboys. They get a free 3rd-round pick. Because they probably weren't going to select a receiver here anyways. Started with 6, traded down to 12, traded up to 10.
Yeah. He's actually their dog. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. I mean, if you try to tuck him, then probably not. But oh yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I didn't want to.
Okay.
Wait, so Dallas is number 12?
Yeah, they had the 10. They traded back to number 12, and they
Oh, did they gain a?
yeah they gave him another pick,
Okay.
3rd-round pick.
So Mr. Fields is probably out of the protection there.
No, because I mean, the Eagles don't need a quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
I would hope.
Neither does Dallas, right?
Neither do the Giants. Neither do Dallas. Both of them don't need a quarterback. And then 13 doesn't need a quarterback either. That's the Chargers.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, dude, are the Vikings? What spot are the Vikings again?
14, yeah.
Because I was reading online. I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but some Vikings fans were getting excited about getting Justin Fields potentially.
Yeah, I don't think they take Fields, especially when you look at it. They have committed a lot to Kirk Cousins. I mean, they just re-upped his deal last offseason.
Yeah.
In the 2021 NFL Draft, Philadelphia Eagles select Devontae Smith.
Devonta Smith.
Oh, okay.
Wide receiver, Alabama.
Dude, I honest to God do not know how Justin Fields is falling this far though.
Just be thankful. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. He's not even overhyped, dude. He outplayed Trevor Lawrence. You saw that game, right? The Rolls are not Sugar Bowl. Yeah. Huh? Maybe. I hope so. But it's more likely they trade back with the Patriots. No, dude, the best case scenario is if the Patriots think Justin Fields would fall to them and the Bears go in front and, the Patriots don't know about it. Right?
Mhm.
No, I said the best case scenario is if the Patriots think Justin Fields is gonna fall to them at pick number 15, but the Bears, jump ahead.
Right.
What? Dude, Giants are having trade talks.
Yeah, they are. They are. So when you look at general manager Dave Gettleman, because the Giants are having trade talks, what had happened is he mentioned last year when the Giants were picking at 4th overall, he's like,
Yeah.
oh, if I trade all the way back to number 8, I risk losing out on 4 good players. Well, here, if you trade back from like 11, let's say, all the way down to 20th overall, effectively Dave Gettleman's thinking could be why I'm probably missing out on 9 really good players. But just looking at the way this draft board is falling, it would not surprise me to see them go offensive line because your top 3 wide receivers are off the board here. But at the same time, they did double down on offensive.
The Bears are on the clock?
Yep, the Bears are on the clock.
The Bears are fucking. Don't pick Mac Jones. Please do not pick Mac Jones. Dude. Oh my. What? Oh my God. Dude, he better not pick Mac Jones. I swear to fucking God, if he picks Mac Jones. Dude. Holy shit. Where did you get the notifications?
And I'm going to tell you guys, I'll have to disclose it, man, after the pick is made.
Come on! Pick Justin Fields! God damn it. That's a dude! Please pick Justin Fields! God damn it. Mac Jones is still on the board though. Dude, if he selects Mac Jones, I'm not going to be a Bears fan anymore. I swear to God.
Congratulations.
Come on. Oh
Hey guys, he's walking around right now. A little surprised at the news here. We've got the volume like all the way up here. We're about to find out who we picked with our trade. I'm only a little drunk with this Four Loko right here.
Just keep your composure, guys. Keep your composure. That's all I'll say.
I can't hear you, man. I'm sorry.
Ryan Pace, I always believed in you.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here, folks. Ryan Pace, I always believed in you, is what he said. All right, here we go. All right. Got 3.5 minutes left in the pick here. There's an empty couch on the screen on the ESPN stream. Who do you think we're gonna get, guys? Who do you think?
What side do you think it's gonna be? Justin Fields?
I think it is gonna be Fields, man. That's just my gut feel. And Brad Biggs says it is Justin Fields. The Bears are trading up for Fields.
We're not spoiling it here. We are waiting for the commissioner. Assad, please don't say anything about this right now.
There's no question about this pick is going to have Matt Nagy, the head coach, fingerprints all over it. In my
Come on.
estimation, that's who's making this pick. This is his evaluation. He evaluated the quarterback class that had Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson and Mitch Trubisky. And I know exactly how he had those shots. I know how he had those shots.
Just say it's gonna be a good night right now.
If it's a quarterback, it's his pick because he knows it's his rear end that's on the line. And he's gonna take his guy.
Oh yeah.
To see which one it is. So if it's gonna get
Come on, Roger Goodell, make it official.
It seems unfathomable. Like, we're living it up to I have to take it forward. It seems impossible for everyone to want to see
Get your drinks ready, folks. It's gonna be a good night. Here's the commissioner.
Through this year's draft-a-thon.
Nobody
cares.
cares.
From COVID-19.
Oh
by
man.
focusing on the critical issues,
Ah.
food insecurity, health disparities, and the digital divide.
Oh, shut up, Goodell.
Throughout the pandemic, health
There we go.
disparities widened in communities of color, indigenous communities, and for older and rural Americans.
Oh man.
We're joining forces with the CDC Foundation as part of a draft-a-thon to meet the basic needs of nutrition, safety, and health.
Anything else?
Carlos Nelson is behind me and has been doing just that.
Oh.
Leading the Greater Auburn Gresham Development Corporation in Chicago.
Yeah, let's make a speech.
His dream of creating a
Speech, speech,
health center
speech,
to
speech.
provide medical care in his neighborhood is becoming a reality with support from the Chicago Bears, and it will open in 2022. Congratulations, Carlos.
Announce the pick, dude.
Come on. Oh, okay, they're having him announce it. Great. Come on.
Well, how exciting is this?
How exciting is this?
With the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the My Chicago Bears select Justin.
Let's go! Let's
You heard it here first, folks. Justin Fields, the number 11 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft.
Oh my God! He over 320,000 signatures. He wanted to play, and he was wanted to play. He needed it the least for his Justin Fields.
Assad, we did it, man. We fucking did it. Yo, what are your thoughts?
If you look at this, right, the Bears wanted Justin Fields all along, and they finally trade up and they get the guy. Did it cost the future first-round pick? Yeah. But I tell people all the time in terms of draft picks, hey, would you rather have a franchise? Would you rather miss out on a first-round pick for a year or have your franchise quarterback for the next 15 years or hope that you finally get it right here? They go with the Ohio State product that had 51 touchdowns from scrimmage in 2019 alone, his first season in Columbus, and boom, the Bears have Justin Fields, a player who can hit any throw in Matt Nagy's offense.
Dude, I have never been this happy in my entire life being a Bears fan. I swear to God, I swear this guy's gonna change our franchise around, man. Next 10 years, the Bears are gonna own the NFC North. Holy shit. Dude. I literally cannot believe it actually happened.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, listen, I'm gonna get out of this thing, right? I have to write
Okay.
a couple articles, right? But if you're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
doing this, let me know, dude. Just text me. I'll be on. All right?
For sure. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thanks
Alright.
for coming on.
Yeah, for sure, boss.
All right, see ya. Santos, thank you for the donation.
Yeah, Justin, this is gonna be oh my God, I'll see you after week 15. So how fast they can get ready to play, that's gonna be key. This is not that easy to me.
What are you saying? So we only traded the way. That's way less than yeah. Oh, okay.
He gets that process speed sped up to the point where it's like boom, the ball is out and we're moving. And if it's not out, take off and run. Use that goddamn ability. If this is a touchdown, then move the football and help us on that point. If you're out,
They got it.
wow. Thank you. This is what we need. If you're David Montgomery, if you're the offensive line, the city of Chicago, you have to be out the streets this dance and having a good time. You know what? This your head coach now has said, this is my guy. This is what I'm going to do. Trust me. I'm taking what we're doing. Start evaluating quarterbacks and bringing in youngsters. We did it down there in Kansas City. Let's see if we can recreate it here. But you know what? How long can you afford to wait to have him put him on the field? That's the key. How quickly can you get him on the field?
Let's think about that. Aaron Rodgers is not happy in Green Bay. He's moving on ahead and becomes Jordan Love, right? Minnesota's got Kirk Cousins. They got a plateau quarterback. We all agree with that, right? Then you got the Detroit Lions with Jared Goff starting over. Now you got Justin Fields, who has more talent than anyone. It's a Aaron Rodgers. He may not be a